Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 8 of What If Naruto was too advanced for his age. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for the new episodes coming over on Anime King and Anime King 3, which I hope you enjoy each and every one of them. And yeah, without further ado, what is we begin this new episode? And remember guys, all links for Anime King and Anime King 3 will be down in the description for you guys to enjoy. So go over there and subscribe as well guys, and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And if you're not having a wonderful day, which I hope you are guys, let me try to make that a little bit better. So let's get straight into this new episode. So, the last time we left off, Kushina and Minato told Naruto to be himself. After all, Yuji wouldn't accept a date with him if she didn't want to be there with him. As Naruto was so excited as he made his way upstairs to find out what to wear. But, unfortunately, Yuji had to go on a mission, as she sent a note. As Naruto saw the note embedded into the wall of the kunai, as he read it, she was apologizing so much, but Naruto was a naive kid. He understood. After all, the duty come first, and he understood exactly. So for the remaining time, Naruto continued his training. As the time finally came for Chunin exams, he was a bit saddened that she wasn't there. All the Kages arrived for their Chunins hopeful, as everyone made their way. As Uncle had spoken to Tenten about something, as she was, well, afraid. She didn't go through what Naruto and Neji went through as well, so she froze up most of the time out there on missions. So Uncle decided to beat that out of her before the Chunin exam selection came around, as they work intensely hard ready for the Chunin exams. Neji and Naruto wanted to show off by taking down Kumo and the Stone Ninjas really quickly, and that is exactly what they did. They didn't stand a chance against the two boys. Their first two matches, they completely wiped the floor with their opponents, ending the match within seconds. Tenten, for her part, went a bit overboard their opponent, as the guy, well, he kind of implied that guys are stronger than girls, just because. Tenten defeated him, but she used up too much of her chakra. As Naruto was called back down as he made his way, he had to face off against Kaguya. Yes, he had the bloodline as well, but he wasn't that well reversed in it. So with that, both him and Naruto started a clash, as he said the wrong thing by comparing Naruto to his father, as Naruto decided to show him that he's not his father, as he beat the crap out of him and knock him out. Win the match. Sasuke saw why his brother thought that Naruto was wrong, but he simply smirked to himself. When he get his Sharingan, he could copy anything that he want. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across to the PlayStation Injector for yourself. So what used to begin this new episode? Naruto made his way up the stairs after facing off against the Kaguya, as he smiled to his teammates. It seems like it is your turn now, Neji, said Naruto. I guess we'll see each other at the semifinals. Neji for his part smiled and nodded towards the blonde. This time I'll win. Just give me a moment, said Neji, as he made his way towards the stairs, going down towards the arena. As he walked calmly, his father up on the stand saw him. He smiled, as he could tell that Neji was, well, going to do his best despite him looking so incredibly calm. After all, he wanted to fight his rival no matter what. The both of them. Both him and Naruto, he knew that they will be the pride of Konoha. After all, it's not common for two kids to be so advanced for their age, to be pushing each other to their absolute limit, to always surpassing everyone's expectations. Go ahead, Neji. Show them the future of the Taiga clan. Show them what you're made of, is what she said. As he watched Neji stop in front of a stone ninja, the stone ninja was smiling. Something was off about the stone ninja's smile. He's as you remember when he fought back in the war with Minato and Kakashi. And there was a clan that was able to block the Jayugen strikes. Could this boy be a part of that clan? Because his smile looked like he knew something that no one else did. Hayashi turned his head as he looked towards his brother. It seems like you know, Hisashi. Neji won't be able to use a Jayugen. I know your son is very good, but he had yet to face an opponent like this once, Hayashi. Hisashi simply grinned. As Hayashi was surprised, as Hisashi didn't really smile all that much. Hayashi, Neji is sure to surpass us in the Jayugen in no time. However, the Jayugen is not his only ability. As Hayashi looked at his brother, it seems like he was keeping a secret from him. Meanwhile, with Kakashi and Yujiro, after seeing Naruto's magnificent display of lightning ninjutsu, the both of them were smiling behind their masks. I didn't know that Naruto could channel lightning chakra so easily, Kakashi-senpai said Yujiro. Kakashi nodded. Naruto-kun chakra control is limited due to his immense chakra supply, but because of this, he can channel lightning and wind chakra through every point in his body. I remember some of the envoys praising Minato when they thought that he was the one that created that jutsu, but they were quite shocked when they found out that his 10-year-old son created it. As Kakashi then turned his head to the arena, I'm afraid that Neji has a tough opponent ahead though. His opponent is a part of the only clan that matches up the Jayugen strike. I know that Neji is tough, but his family techniques will be useless against this guy, said Kakashi. Yujiro turned to answer him. Neji and I share Naruto-kun's rivalry. Uncle told me that Neji had other abilities from the Jayugen strike, but she refrained from telling me what. I guess that he isn't limited to the Jayugen, as his family is, said Yujiro. Well then, let's see the outcome, said Kakashi. With Neji. As Neji was studying his opponent, Urta fainted. He's from the Hidden Stone, so nothing new, Neji said as he looked over the guy with his BF gun. After he deactivated his dojutsu, his opponent started taunting him. You're a Hyuga, right? Then I guess I already won this fight, said Yaiko as he looked Neji up and down. The battle hasn't even started yet, and you assume something without even knowing, said Neji. As he looked towards Genma, Genma gave the authorization for the battle to begin. Quickly, Neji pulled 4 shurikens and threw them towards Yaiko. Yaiko was a bit surprised, as he thought that he was a Hyuga, so he would start off right away with the Jayugen, so he was quite surprised. He quickly pulled a kunai as he blocked all the shurikens. Seconds after, Yaiko charged Neji, as the both of them clashed as Neji pulled a kunai. Slice after slice, but none of them managed to land a hit on one another. As Neji attacked with a horizontal strike, Yaiko dropped to the ground, already going through hand sign, earth style, earthquake jutsu, as Neji already leaped away as he saw the chakra being built up. As he tossed kunais and shurikens, Yaiko cursed as one of them stabbed him right in the leg. As Yaiko went to pull the kunai down the moment Neji landed, you're in my field of definition. Neji shot forward. 2 palms, 4 palms, 16 palms, 32 palms, 64 palms. After the last strike, Yaiko was sent sailing. But to the surprise of everyone present, Yaiko flipped and landed on the wall, feet first. As he landed on the ground, a small trail of blood coming from his mouth as he smiled at Neji. Neji for his part was shocked, he just hit him with that technique and he came out unscathed. Surprise, Neji-san. That is why I told you that this fight is already over and I am the winner. You see, my clan is an absolute Earth Affinity, and I can protect my points from your chakra lace attack. With the Earth style hardening jutsu, we can protect ourselves against any sort of attacks. So at the moment your little baby strikes, won't do much damage. As Neji stayed calm, he remembered when Naruto told him that if someone find a defensive to the Jayugen strike, he would be defenseless. But it was a good thing he knew other tricks. With Naruto. So Neji finally finds such an opponent, huh? Let's see what he will do now. As he smirked, back down in the fight, Yaiko speak through hand sign, Earth style, Earth Dragon, Projection Jutsu. A mud dragon spring from the ground, a rather large one, as he started to fire attacks towards Neji at a fast rate. Neji pivot on 1 feet. Rotation, he said, as he blocked each and every attack. After Neji stopped, the moment he did, he launched a kunai, but Yaiko was fast enough to dodge as Neji shot forward as he speed through hand signs, surprising most of them. After all, the Hyugas were known for their Jayugen style, not any other techniques. They were always based on their Byakuguns. Earth style, Earth Spear Jutsu, said Neji. As Neji pulled that Earth Spear out of the ground, he twists and he launched it with incredible strength. Yahiko simply smiled. While its spear was dangerous, he could dodge it with ease. But when he was about to dodge, Neji said something that terrified him. Multiply. The spear split as 4 of them were now coming after him. As he was too late to block it with any jutsu, the spear, one of them, slammed right into his shoulder as it slammed him into the wall. Yahiko cursed as he felt the pain in his shoulder. Neji shot forward the kunai as Yahiko closed his eyes. But no pain. When he finally opened his eyes, he saw a kunai right in front of his face as he gulped. The proctor came over as Yahiko was no longer able to continue. Winner, Neji Hyuga, said Genma, as everyone started to erupt in the crowd, clapping, cheering, as Hisashi was smiling towards his son. But Hayashi wasn't so pleased. Hisashi, your son has just diminished our prize techniques by reverting to use elemental ninjutsu. Hisashi sighed, already seen that coming. Neji is our family project. He know more for family stances than anyone double his age. But in order to win this battle, he knew that the Jayugan would not. He has shown far greater abilities at his age than most others, Hayashi. Elemental ninjutsu, while inferior to our style, can be an unexpected win, especially against someone like the Satoshi clan. You're not saying that we should learn elemental ninjutsu, Hisashi. This is absurd. Outside the Satoshi clan, no one can beat us, Hayashi said. As Hisashi simply smiled. He used to think that way a long time ago as well, before Minato came in. Not true. I recall a little annoying blonde kid beating us back then, the both of us. And I've also saw his son beating Neji using the elemental ninjutsu. As I actually remember that he got his ass kicked by Minato a bunch of times. With Neji. As he appeared at Genin's booth, he smirked. Now it's our turn, Namikaze Naruto. Ready to lose, he asked. Naruto started to laugh. I guess we'll see about the loser part, Neji Hyuga, he said. I trained very hard for this fight, and I can tell you right now, it won't be easy. I wouldn't want it any other way, said Neji. After Genma ushered a 10 minutes rest for the semifinals, the audience started to stretch their legs and talk. There were a lot of speculations about who would be the winner of the fight between Neji Hyuga and Naruto Namikaze. Both of them had shown that both of them were the best at this tournament. Meanwhile, that's new, Uncle. Teach Hyuga Earth Jutsu, said Asuma. Uncle simply smiled. Yeah, it wasn't easy though, convince him to do it. Although Neji is different from other Hyugas, his pride for the Jayugan stance is still there. Well, it was not easy at all because at the time she was thinking, if she killed him, would anyone really notice? Yeah, they probably would. But he finally gave up with that stubborn attitude and she was able to teach him. Well, that was what made him win. 10 minutes later, both Naruto and Neji were smiling as they were facing each other in the center of the arena. Hey Naruto, what's the count? Neji asked. I believe that we're even. 22 to 22, said Naruto. However, after this, it's gonna be 23 to 22. Me in the favor, said Naruto. Well then, let's see about that, shall we? Said Neji. Genma saw that the both of them were ready as he ushered the beginning of the battle. Not even a second as Neji flipped through hand signs, Earth style, Mud Dragon, Projectile Jutsu, as the Mud Dragon came from the ground and started to fire balls towards Naruto, who quickly flipped through hand signs of his own, Wind style, Wind Barrier Jutsu, as the two typhoons appeared in front of him, protecting him from the attack. After the last mud ball was stopped, Naruto went through hand signs once again. Wind style, Enhance, Breakthrough, he said. Neji was shocked as the ground was torn apart as he tried to move, but the force picked him off the ground as he was sent sailing towards the wall. Neji flipped as he jammed Chakra to his feet as he slammed into the wall. At least he didn't slam into it with so much force to hurt him, but his feet shook a bit. As he jumped back down to the ground, he never expected it to be so powerful. After all, Naruto rarely used its wind style finte on missions. As Neji pulled out shurikens and tossed them, Shuriken Clone Jutsu, as he learned from Tenten, they multiply as a herd was coming towards Naruto. As Naruto wasted no time by substituting, as the log was impaled all over. The real Naruto burst out of the bushes as he shot towards Neji, his fingertips cackling a bit with lightning. Neji quickly forced chakra down into his palm as the both of their fists connected. A shockwave of lightning and pure chakra burst around the arena as both boys stepped back a bit. As Naruto didn't stop, he charged Neji once again. A brutal battle of Neji defending as he forced chakra into his palms, defend against lightning attack. The audience were beyond impressed by the skills that the two genins were showing. As many of the Jonins were looking towards Anko, she had a big satisfying grin on her face. After all, she was the one that taught them. The academy students were stunned as their focus was on the battle and nothing else. Back to the arena as Naruto landed a solid kick to Neji's chest, but the kick wasn't filled with lightning chakra, so Neji wasn't paralyzed, he was only sent flying because of the kick. Utilizing the momentum, Neji flipped as he landed on the ground, showing the first sign of fatigue. Looking at Naruto though, he got pissed a bit because Naruto didn't even look winded at all. As Naruto started to go through hand signs, ending with a snake seal, he sent a wave of electricity towards Neji. As Neji leaped away, he then launched his arm forward as he sent an invisible wave of chakra that slammed into Naruto, knocking him away. But poof, as Naruto substituted another log. As he turned to look at Neji, "How do you like my new attack, Naruto?" said Neji, as he was already showing signs of slight exhaustion. "Quite the punch, that one. What is it called?" said Naruto, with a smile on his face. 8 definition. Signs, ear palm, said Neji. "Well, I'm really impressed," said Naruto. "Well, let's continue the battle, shall we?" As Naruto charged forward once again, as the both of them started to engage in regular taijutsu. As Neji was getting tired, his chakra was running low. As Naruto was showing fatigue, but not that much, he still had so much chakra left. As the both of them parted ways, as Naruto flipped through hand signs. The ones that knew Naruto were surprised. Did he really perfected it? As he created a lightning ball. Once finishing the ball, Naruto channeled wind chakra as he created a wind feeler on the ball. As Asuma smirked, it seems that Naruto figured it out. Back down in the arena, as Naruto felt the thing dip into his reserves. This technique, while powerful, it used a lot of his chakra. "Neji, you show your technique. Now let me show mine," said Naruto. Lightning release. Thunderball Jutsu. As he fired the spear towards Neji at an alarming speed, Neji blinked in surprise. The energy inside is overwhelming. Is this jutsu even real? As Neji knew he had chakra for one rotation, as he started to spin, as the ball collided with the dome. As Neji rotation managed to sap some of the lightning ball energy. But Naruto wasn't done yet, as he forced more chakra into it. Neji was surprised as his rotation was broken through. The technique, although not as powerful as before, slammed into him, as Neji was sent sailing as he smashed right into the wall. He fell down unconscious. Genma made his way to the arena, only for Naruto to fall down as well, as both boys were out, as Naruto fell down because of chakra exhaustion. Seeing that none of the fighters are able to stand, "I hereby declare this match a draw," said Genma. But his voice was interrupted as there was loud cheers for the two boys. Up in the Kage booth, Minato was surprised seeing Naruto mastering that jutsu, even if he altered a little bit. In all truth, that jutsu was a challenge from both him and Kakashi to see Naruto resolve. And true to his word, Naruto did that jutsu, but not only that. Seeing it the way that his son controlled the lightning ball, he just looked at his son as some working hard genius. Well, Naruto-kun, using wind techniques to control the lightning ball, pretty damn creative. The Kazekage for his part don't understand what Minato meant. Surely, the boy would have done well in the sand with his wind affinity, but he knew best than to say that to the Hokage. The Raikage for his part was a bit furious, as that technique was difficult to learn. Most of the shinobis couldn't even manipulate the technique, but yet here was this boy that simply manipulated would win. How was that even possible? He was just a young child. Meanwhile, with Yujiro and Kakashi, it seems that Naruto managed to do it after all. He fought beautifully, don't you? Kakashi turned. Yujiro was not there. Kurina and Anko saw when Naruto was taken through the tunnels to go to the hospital. An Anvu appeared there, and they knew exactly who that Anvu was. As for Yujiro, as she made her way to the hospital with them, "It seems like our girl is finally accepting her feelings, Anko-chan," said Kurina. As Anko smiled, she was thinking about the new source of blackmail. As both of them were taken to the hospital, as Tenten was down there as well to see the both of them go off. "Naruto, Neji, the both of you fought so well. I know the both of you are going to become Chunins. Just wait for me, she said. Since she didn't get to fight in the second round, the judges would judge her for her first match, where she let the enemy taunting get to her. She then felt someone grab her hand. It was Genma. Since no one is here to advance to the finals, I hereby declare Tenten the tournament champion, as the audience started to cheer. Wait, what? Tenten said, as she realized she was the only one left, and that made her the winner. At the hospital, after making her way to the unconscious blonde room, Yujiro took off her mask. She was so proud of him for the fights, as she knew that he would be promoted to Chunin. Getting closer, she cursed his hair softly. She was amazed by how soft his hair was, as she could do this all day long. But when she looked at his face, she felt a sudden urge to kiss the blonde. As her dream then came to her mind, she started to touch her lips, as she remembered that dream. I know you're unconscious, she said, but think of this as a gift for doing so wonderful in your matches. As she leaned down, and she kissed him. Something that she's been wanting for the very longest time now, as she felt so calm and peaceful, like this was the right thing to do. Nothing could stop her from getting a kiss from her beloved blonde. However, she didn't notice that Kushina was watching her, as Kushina was at the hospital for a checkup, as she heard Yujiro coming in with her son. He was unconscious, as she knew how much her son loved Yujiro, and she saw his feelings were well returned, as she just wants the both of them to live a wonderful life, a happy life. So she decided not to interrupt anything, as she was so happy for her baby boy. Suddenly, as Anko and Kurnai arrived at the window. Oh, so what's going on in here? Yujiro had already put on back her mask. She wasted no time, so she shunted away. Both girls burst out laughing as Anko jumped inside. What are you doing? Said Kurnai. Well, he's not tuning yet. He's still my responsibility. Tenten is currently with Neji, so I'll stay here until he wakes up. Time skip. 2 hours later, as Naruto opened his eyes, only to see that he wasn't at the tournament anymore. Looking up, he saw a white ceiling, as he knew that this was a hospital. As he wondered, a smile then came on his face, as he remembered the amazing battle. As there was something else though, it was like he remembered something touching his lips. He simply shrugged off. It must have been some dream. You're finally up, Naruto-kun, said Uncle. Had a good sleep? Uncle Sensei said Naruto as he smiled. Uncle smiled back at him. Good job, she said. So, Tenten won, huh? Me and Neji fell unconscious, so I guess she was the only one remaining. Did they announce the promotion yet? Yes, Tenten was the winner. And no, they haven't announced the promotions yet. It will probably take a week for them to assemble the judges and go through your performance, said Uncle. I see, said Naruto. Well, thanks for staying with me, Uncle Sensei, said Naruto. I think I gotta head home. Mom must be worried about me. Do that, Uncle said. You guys have the week off. As she patted him on the head and smiled before she vanished. As Naruto looked around, he could really remember something touching his lips, but he just didn't know if it was a dream or not. It felt so real. Well, he was unconscious. He shrugged it off. 5 days later, Minato was going through the judges' reports on Team 5 abilities from Chunin exams. Both Naruto and Neji had shown abilities in strategies and combat. Overall, both of them deserved to be promoted to Chunin. However, he wasn't so sure about your female teammate. Although Tenten shows strength when it comes to her fire technique, she did fall for the enemy taunting, allowing someone to get to you so easily. A Chunin had to be calm and able to control their emotions and missions. Being that said, what would happen to her team in case Tenten fall for the trap once again if someone was taunting them? He needed to be objective with the promotions. With that, he spun around in his chair as he looked over the village. But there was a knocking at the door. Come in, he said. With that, Uncle came inside. You call me Hokage-sama, she said. Yes. In my hands there are the performance for the Chunin exams, and I'm here to say that Naruto and Neji are perfectly capable to be Chunins. However, I'm uncertain about Tenten-san, and that is where you come in, said Minato. As Uncle nodded, Minato continued. Even though she displayed great fighting skills, you know as well as I do, she can't have that behavior on missions. She could end up hurting or killing her team by falling for the enemy's traps. Also, for her mission reports, I managed to see that this happened once or twice before, doesn't it? As Uncle nodded, therefore Uncle, I would like to ask you a question, completely off the record. Do you believe she's capable of performing Chunin's assignments? Uncle says she wondered what to say to the man. In fact, she also, was worried about Tenten's performance. The girl had talent, that was for sure. But if the same thing happened on a mission, things would get ugly fast. After all, enemies love to taunt their opponents, and Tenten was too easy to rile up. However, no one else better starting to work as a team, and Tenten and Team 5 did wonderful together. Hokage-sama, even though her conduct was inexcusable, I believe that she is the best suited to work with Naruto and Neji team. Therefore, it's my opinion that she will get a promotion. However, Naruto and Neji must be at any mission that she attends as well, until she gets familiarized with the position, said Uncle. As Minato didn't say anything, as he was thinking, after the exams, there was a lot of mission requests, from C to B for Naruto and Neji, from the land of Wave and Fire Country. And according to Uncle, Tenten would be the third man of the team, as he had the idea, while he believed they could handle C or even B rank missions, while a Jonin was with them, they could perform A ranks, while the higher A ranks and the S ranks will be left towards the elite and the envoys. Uncle-san, I'm going with your idea regarding Tenten. Team 5 will be promoted to Chunin. Also, I would like to advance a piece of information with you. After Naruto and Neji battles, mission requests are blowing through the roof in here. Therefore, I will be assigning the promoted Team 5 high C ranks, B ranks, and A rank missions throughout the Fire and Water Country as well. This will be a test for you as well, Uncle, to see if you're qualified for S rank missions in the future. However, I'll be frank with you. Team 5 will be doing missions after mission for at least 2 months. Do you think your team can handle it? Uncle was already squealing at the possibility for her to go on S-rank missions, and she had faith in her team 100%. We're more than capable, Hokage-sama, she said, earning a smile from Minato. After that, she was dismissed. As Minato turned to look towards the village once more, on one side, he was slightly afraid to send his son to do so many missions, but he knew better than to think like this. Team 5 had a great reputation. Naruto and Neji backed each other up, and Tenten matched back the both of them with long-range jutsu. Not to mention that Uncle was there as well. Team 5. Quite a team you got there, Naruto-kun, thought Minato. Time skip. After leaving the office, Uncle was beyond happy. She was remembering her decision to not become a Jonin sensei after all. She didn't want to babysit some brats while doing any D-rank missions. But when she had saw Naruto's potential, she couldn't help but think how good it would be to be the boy Jonin sensei. And when she heard the Hokage say the name of the team, she knew that they would be legendary in the future. The Hokage's son, a Hyuga prodigy, and the best Kinjutsu fighter among the graduates. That was a gamble with 100% chance of winning. Seeing that the sun was already going down, she decided to tell her team the news tomorrow, as she thought about what she should do now. She decided to celebrate by going to her all-time favorite bar in Konoha. The Burning Leaf is quite famous for all the Jonins, as the bar was owned by a third great shinobi war icon. His name was Aoshi, as he was in the battle as well with Minato and Kakashi. When she arrived at the bar, Uncle saw a guy holding on to a Chunin vest. Some random ninja got promoted, she saw. As she shouted to the bartender, "Aoshi, a bottle of steak for me," she said. The man laughed as he made his way, as he brought the steak for Uncle. As Uncle opened the bottle and took a quick sip. "Ah, this is the life," she said. "I wonder why Iruka-kun doesn't like it so much. I mean, with a few set of dango, this place could be called heaven on earth." As she drank another glass of steak. "Hey Aoshi," Uncle said. "When are you gonna get steak from Kumo again? After I taste that one, it's hard to drink regular ones." "Those guys are taking too long, my dear Uncle. I was expecting it to arrive yesterday," said Aoshi. Uncle snorted as she drank a sip once more. "Oh man, I was really eager to have another taste." "Well, it doesn't really matter, I just want to celebrate," she said. He asked her what the reason for celebrating is, as Uncle told him about the promotion for her team. As most members in the bar was looking over, as he heard what happened, as he started to cheer for Uncle, as she was enjoying every bit of it, as Aoshi knew about her team. After all, Uncle came a lot of times and told him about them. To believe that all of them were promoted at once to Chunin, they must be something quite special. Well, given the way Uncle talked about them, they must be. "Man, the fourth Hokage's son was one of the best. I mean, the lighting technique was so awesome," Uncle snorted, as he didn't even call Naruto by name. "No, the Hyuga was awesome. He defeated that guy even though his Ryugen strikes were unable to work on the guy," two drunken men said, as the both of them started to curse about who was better, Naruto or Neji. "Hey you bastard," a woman said. "The only one you acknowledge are man from your gender, right? What about the girl? Her name was Tenten. She performed a rather high fire ninjutsu. Uncle was just about to say that as one beat her to it. Oh yeah, that girl one of the men said. Oh, she's awesome as well, he says. He threw his hand up in the air. He was really drunk. All of them are awesome. Team 5 seem to be one of the best team for this year. Yeah, as Uncle heard them talking about the 4 guys on this, 4 guys on that. Hey, she shouted, getting all of them attention. How would you guys feel if you bust your ass and train over and over just to be reminded that you were your father's son and you get no recognition for your own name? As Aoshi looked at all of them, as despite their drunkenness, it seemed like it snapped in their head. Come on, why the long face, Aoshi said. Let's have a toast. The Team 5, Naruto Namikaze, Neji Hyuga, and Tenten, he said. Yeah, everyone shouted, as Uncle smiled as all of them raised their glass. It was then that Uncle noticed someone over in the corner. Huh? She made her way over, it was Yujiro. She wasn't one to be in these public places without her or Kurenai. Before you start to think of anything, nothing bad happened. As Uncle sit down, what happened then? You look like crap. As she was currently under the influence of liquor a bit, so her words were not exactly filtered. Yujiro then went on to explain how taking her to the hospital, and then she had to stay and look at his peaceful face. As she then told Uncle what she did. Uncle was stunned. Knowing Yujiro, she never expected that at all. She never knew that she would do something like that. After all, she was always acting shy and nervous, and never wanted to admit it. Well, she did after a while, but only around her 2 friends. But she did not understand the reason why she was feeling like this, and why she looked so down. Tell me something. You kissed him, and now you're sad. Why? When I kissed him, I felt something strange. It felt like it was the right thing to do at the time, and it's scaring me. I've seen my parents together when I was younger, and I always think about, well, the future. I thought I would never find someone to fall in love with, but Uncle stopped her. Come on, she said, ushering her to take a walk outside for some fresh air. As they made their way outside, they were walking down the road under the moonlight. Uncle smiled. She knew that Naruto was probably looking at the full moon as well. Yujiro, what do you think of the moonlight tonight? Yujiro glanced up, as she wondered why Uncle would ask, but it hit her rather quickly, as a smile came on her face. She knew exactly why Uncle asked that, as she remembered who that would just stare at the full moon for hours and just be captivated by it. It kinda looked like him, said Yujiro. It sure does, said Uncle, as she remembered Naruto staring at it in animation and the moonlight reflecting on his eyes. It was quite the sight. Naruto is special, Yujiro-chan. He has a spark inside him that many fight to achieve, and I knew that he liked you as well. Yujiro blushed a bit, but nodded. He's special, alright, but what should I do? Do I tell him about the kiss? Do I not tell him? She asked. I don't know actually, said Uncle. Naruto would have been preferred to be awake in your first kiss, but I guess that went out of the window. But if you describe the same way you described to me, I'm sure that he will give you a better one. As Yujiro was caught up trying to imagine if the kiss was like better than the first, as it made her feel a chill run down her spine. Uncle smiled at that as she remembered how she felt when she met Aruka. But she didn't remember something. Yujiro, if you're gonna tell him, you have to tell him today. Why today? What will happen tomorrow? Asked Yujiro. Well, the Hokage called me tell me about my team promotion, and our team will be going on back-to-back mission for 3 months straight. So you might as well tell him now. Damn it, Yujiro thought. That's just great. I never expected to talk to him so soon right after that. However, I guess he will still be up watching the full moon. I'll have a quick shower and change. As she looked towards Uncle, thanks, she said. As she made her way off. Good for you, girl. Go get him. Uncle said, as she made her way off as well. Time skip with Naruto. Whenever, the time always came for him to see the full moon. He never missed it, as at the moment he was currently on the rooftop, gazing up at the beautiful moon, as he was lying back. His father was acting a bit mysterious. Well, tomorrow was the promotion, so he was just keeping it secret. Naruto didn't mind that. Suddenly, he felt something, and he then heard footsteps coming his way. He or she, whoever it was making their way towards him at a slow pace. But no one came up here to, well, watch a moon with him. Well, one person, but they haven't been seen for several days. As a person emerged from the shadows, and the moonlight reflected on her, Naruto's jaw dropped, there in front of him, as he was looking at the most gorgeous person in existence. As Yujiro saw how Naruto reacted to her appearance, it made her blush. She didn't really focus on, well, other men mostly, like going out on dates or having much of a social life. Well, many of the Envoy members liked her, but she didn't really took notice of that. And also, they didn't tell her. "Oh, hello Naruto-kun," she said. As that snapped Naruto out of his trance, Yujiro-chan said, "Naruto, you're even more beautiful under the moonlight. Where have you been all this time?" "I've been looking to see you after the exam," said Naruto. As she realized he was still looking at her, with just a fixed sensation, it made her blush once again. As she made her way over, "I have something to tell you," she said. "Oh, what is it?" he said. "Well, I was the one that helped you to the hospital. And when you were there unconscious, I kind of kissed you." As Naruto's eyes had never been so wide before, as he looked at her. "You kiss me?" He then touched his lips. "So it wasn't a dream?" She said. "I felt something when I woke up, but I thought it was a dream." She then turned towards him. "After I took you to the hospital, on the battle day, I saw your face, and I couldn't help myself, and I want to know the feeling of kissing you. I'll admit, I have dreams about us kissing, so I went forward and kissed you, even though you were unconscious." "I'm sorry," she said, as she looked down. Naruto for his part was speechless, but he knew if he didn't say something, it would just look, well, awkward. "Yujiro-chan, you don't have to be sorry for that," said Naruto. "I mean, I've always imagined how it would be to share a kiss with you under the moonlight." She lifted her head towards him, as he rubbed the back of his head as he blushed a bit. "That sounds very romantic, Naruto-kun," she said, as she glanced up towards the moon. "You know, if you want, we can do it right now," she said. Seeing that Naruto had looked up back to the moon, his head snapped so quickly, she was afraid that he might hurt himself. As he looked at her, complete shock. Did she just say that? He wondered. If this was a dream, he was taking this opportunity. It didn't matter, this was a perfect scenery. If he woke up tomorrow, this would still be the best dream he ever had. As he leaned forward, wasting no time, she leaned forward as well, as both of their lips touched. It was a feeling of utter, pure bliss between them. Both were enjoying each session of their interaction. As Naruto's hand went up to caress her cheek, as she caressed his hair, as the both of them breathed for ear, and then they went in back and kissed each other. After they finally broke the kiss, they had a new light in their eyes. Up until now, although there was a connection between them, it was just always mostly teasing between them. Now that they kissed like that, a bond was formed. "This is the first time I ever got this feeling, Naruto-kun," she said. "Even when I kissed you at the hospital, it didn't even compare to this," she said. She was cut off as he kissed her once again, as Naruto couldn't get over the feeling of the kiss. She didn't complain, as she started enjoying leaning into it as well. Yujiro started to get worried as the kiss dragged on. After all, her whole life, she's only been focusing on becoming stronger as a kunoichi, so information about dating, seduction, hormones, etc. was all new to her, as she felt a strange tingle and wondered what all that was about, as a feeling of arousal was rising as the makeout session continued. Naruto for his part was having the same sensation, but well, he couldn't hide it. Well, he was a man. As the both of them were getting rather into the mood, as their hands were rubbing each other as well, as Naruto separated from her lips and started kissing her on the neck, as she felt her body shiver, but she didn't break away. I'm sorry," said Naruto. "I don't know what got over me." "No, please, don't, Naruto-kun," she said. "I was caught up as well. I mean, it was so good and all, but we need some sort of control over this. These feelings are novelty for the both of us. So, for now, let's just take it slow, okay?" As Naruto nodded, agreed, as he didn't even know what the hell came over him at that moment, as he leaned back on the roof, as she leaned right beside him, as the both of them enjoyed the full moon. Meanwhile, at the Uchiha clan household, Itachi was going home after the most strenuous mission that he ever participated in. Itachi was by no means naive to the behavior of human, but sometimes, well, emotions can overrun someone's control. The thing that he saw on the field wasn't meant to be seen by anyone's weak stomach. Blood spilled everywhere, human heads on trees, arms, legs. It was like a vision from hell. Itachi quickly made his way up the wall, as he just made his way through the window of his room, as he didn't bother to go through the front door. So with that, he just went to get some rest. He then heard us screaming. Sasuke was off on a mission, away from the village, so he knew this must be his mother or father, as he quickly made his way downstairs with his ninjato. Itachi held tilted to the side as he saw a sight that shocked him. "Stay out of this, Itachi. I have to do this." His father was there with a katana in his arm. His mother was on the ground shaking, blood leaking from her wounds. Itachi didn't know what was going on, but his mother was on the ground drenched in blood. His father was trying to kill her. "What have you done?" Itachi said as he stepped forward. "Have you gone insane?" "I said stay away," Fukaku said. As he raised his blade, Itachi vanished in a burst of speed. Slice. His katana tear right through his father's chest. Everything went quiet. Everything was silent. He couldn't even hear his own mother calling out his name, as he just stood there. As realization hit him, he just killed his father. Even if it was to protect his mother, he just killed his father. His own blood. As he stood there, realization still hit him rather hard. As he didn't move or anything, tears started to fall as his father's body fell to the ground. Mikado slowly pulled herself off the ground as she grabbed onto her boy. But his eyes were different. They were no longer the standard. Three told him of the Sharingan. It was no similar to a black shuriken, but that didn't matter at the moment. "It's alright, Itachi. I'm here," she said as she held on to him. Itachi stood there frozen. "What's going on, Mom? Why did he attack you?" "What happened?" Itachi asked, as Mikado looked over herself. She knew what her husband was trying to do. Despite wanting to do it, he still was having a hard time. That is why she wasn't dead at the moment. After all, he could have just struck her down. But she had cuts over her body though. But she still had the strength to walk and move. "I'll tell you, my son, but wait here while I call the Hokage, okay?" Itachi nodded. It only took a moment as Minato was there with envoys to investigate what happened. As Mikado started to explain, Minato knew about Fukaku's personality, the ambitious personality of his. He only knew about the next stage of the Uchiha. The Sharingan was to achieve it by an emotional stress, a trauma, after taking your most beloved person. Fukaku wanted to kill Mikado in order to awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan, and Itachi had to kill him, his own father, to protect his mother. Minato went over as Itachi was sitting on the couch. All he could see was his father's blood on his hand. That was all. "Itachi, look at me." But Itachi did not move. Minato kneeled down as he placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. Itachi looked him dead in the eyes. "Hokage-sama, what have I done?" "You did nothing wrong, Itachi. You hear me? You protect your mother from certain death. Now, I'm entrusting a 2 weeks lesson for you, your mother, and Sasuke when you return from his mission," said Minato. As Itachi just continued to look at his hand. Minato made his way towards Mikado as he placed a hand on her shoulder. He reassured her that he will do everything to help. However, now that Fukaku was dead, the Uchiha was going to need a new clan head. Most of the Uchiha members had been getting slaughtered lately on missions, thinking that they're superior just because they awakened the Sharingan, that they're unstoppable. As they forget one important detail: while the Sharingan can see abilities and things really fast, your body must be up to snuff as well. So at the moment, the Uchiha family just consists of civilians. Some few police force members remaining. There was another strong member as well, Shisui Uchiha. His parents was killed in the Third War, as he was raised alongside Itachi. So the only ones that were worthy of being clan head were Itachi, Shisui, and Sasuke. Sasuke was too young, but Itachi's mental stability was what was worrying Mikado. From time that she saw her oldest son, he was always stoic about things, never losing anything over his emotions. But even though she was bleeding out, she saw when he took his father's life, and she saw something click within him. His eyes were twitching, strangely, like he was on the verge of losing himself, but he tried to control it as best as possible. It was like something happened before he came back. She made her way towards him and she asked him what happened before he came home. Itachi spoke with a rather dull tone. The more he spoke, the more her eyes went wide. His eyes were wide and empty, like he was reliving the whole thing over and over again, as there was a slaughter on his mission. That really troubled him. His mind then came back to what happened when he came here, and his eyes activate on their own, as his spin and Mangita Sharingan spring to life, as she was afraid. Itachi spent most of his time always diving into his shinobi work. He was an Anvu, and they have grown distant. She knew that he still loved her and she loved him as well, but most of his time was spent on missions or being away from the family. But something then clicked in her mind. Before marrying Fukaku, Mikoto was a trained Konoichi, a Konoha Jonin expert when it comes to genjutsu, as she trained her eyes to exhaustion so that she could cast one genjutsu by just looking into her opponent's eyes, thus disrupting their senses. When she managed to do it, every Uchiha was shocked. They were also angry a bit that she wouldn't use that against their enemies to torture them. Instead, she just disabled their senses with that genjutsu before knocking them out. She never used it to kill. As she activated her 3-totem Sharingan, it felt strange, as it's been so long. As she looked at her son, she could see the chakra system flowing. As she looked him directly in the eyes, "Dream viewing jutsu," she said. Itachi stopped trembling after a while. He rested his head into his mother's lap, as he was also smiling. It made her smile as well despite the situation. Growing up as a kid, he was always hard. Always having that serious mask on, it was difficult to see him smile. But now seeing him smile right now, it made her so happy. As she remembered when Itachi was playing at the compound a long time ago, and Fukaku stopped him, telling him that happiness, joy, such emotions were useless when becoming a ninja. Ever since, Itachi stopped smiling, and he delved into the books, starting studying, starting to train. And that was when things changed. But now things would be different. At least he was calm for now. But there was still Sasuke. The next day, as Naruto woke up, immediately after waking up he blushed, as he remembered that wonderful kiss. He was also thinking about the Chunin exams. Seeing that his team was the only one that participated for Konoha, they will have to go to the Hokage's office to hear the results, rather than the Genin promotion office. As Naruto went to say goodbye, as he kissed his mother on the forehead as he made his way off. On his way, he ran into Neji and Tenten, as all of them made their way to the Hokage office. On arrival, Uncle was already there waiting for them. "About time you guys arrived," she said. "I was already thinking about some snake to wake your asses up," she said. All three of them laughed, nervously, because they knew that she wasn't lying. "Oh, you're laughing," she said. "Do you think I'm joking?" As she raised her hand. "Uncle, stop threatening them and send them in, would you?" said Minato. "Well then, I guess you get away. This time." But guys, if you end episode right here, if you want the next part of this or not to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way over in Anime King and Anime King 3, and I hope that you guys enjoy each and every one of them. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King 2, Anime King 3, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon over in Anime King. Peace. I'm out for you guys.